What's up guys, welcome back to another YouTube video, and today, yes, your eyes do not deceive you. These are some of the first look at the cards from the Game Crafter. I just got the package, don't worry, I only made sure that I had everything that I bought, but I did buy some holographic cards, and yes, these are the boss figments for the first two starter decks that I'm going to be releasing for the game. And these look incredible. I did get these in foil. In the regular starter decks, they won't be in foil. They'll just be regularly printed, but I did want to see what these would look like in foil. And I will definitely be adding a lot more white, I think. Definitely to make the cards pop out, but even just looking at these right here, it's incredible. I'm so excited to get these in person right now. And these are the back of the cards. So I'm sorry if this video is going to be kind of everywhere. I'm super excited. I really want to open the box in front of you guys. I had to do so many other things this morning, and I got the package this morning, and these are the first things. So I sleeved up all the foil ones, but I have not opened the foundation decks because I wanted to open them in front of you guys. So let's get right into that. And also as a reference, this was the first prototype that I ever made for the game. I just wanted to see how everything would look like with the final design. I did it for the digital ROM deck, but I just didn't cut it out. But I was really happy with this, so you guys are going to see with me. I'm going to take a close look at what the official deck box is going to look like for this game. So moving these aside, and I also got two of the holographic boss figments, so this is what they look like, a bit less than these cases. I'll show you why these are in these cases because it's pretty cool. I got a deck box that showcases the cards. So these are what they'll look like in the sleeves, and then this is what it looks like in these little slots right here. Other than that, let's get right into it. Here we go. Looking incredible. Oh my. Just, when I went to make sure that I had everything, I didn't even lift these up all the way to the front. So I'm super excited to open these guys up for you guys. But just look at that. First the Dawn Foundation Deck 1. Got the logo top center. Got the little, I'm glad this came out really good and clear to see too. I was a little worried about that. And then obviously they got the main boss figure in the front. I don't know if it's going to pick up on the camera, but there's definitely a lot of depth into the image, and I'm really glad even with this one that I printed, you were able to see kind of looks like a window for the card like Pokemon. I wanted to emulate that, and I'm so glad. It looks so good in color and everything, and I love how it looks a little 3D. So it looks as though it had the window on the deck. And then for Mecha Cytherion, we have Mecha Cytherion obviously in the front center. Just incredible. I'll go over a little bit later, but even these cards aren't the fully updated ones. They definitely changed some of the text. The rest of the template is the same, but it's definitely some of the text elements have changed, but we'll go over that a little bit later. I'm just so excited to actually have these in person with me. And I think it's only right that we start with Rusted Dawn. It was the first deck I went into. I want to make sure I don't actually end up scratching this. I might have to make a few. Let's see. Took the plastic off, and there we go. In all its glory. Rusted Dawn Foundation. Feels so much better having it in the actual print quality rather than just regular printer paper. Looks amazing. All right, and I guess there's nothing else to do other than just open it up and see how it goes. Oh, there you go. Definitely try to preserve the box. And oh geez. One, two more. And there. So there's a box, and here are all the cards, which I may reorder. So just give me 1 second, and we'll just go through all the cards in order from 1 to 22. This is so incredible to have in person. I don't know if I mentioned it on the video, but I have been working on this game for I think 7 or 8 months now. So it's really incredible to see all these cards actually in person and printed in color. And I will say that it looks like some of these cards are in order and some of them aren't. So not to spoil it for you guys, I'm gonna go through this really quick, organize it, and I'll get back to you real quick. All right, now I got them all in number order. Let me just go through these tokens real quick. Are very key to how the deck plays out, so I made sure to include these tokens in the deck so you guys don't have to find a way to buy them somewhere else. I gave you guys 10 scrap tokens yeah, just be a little sideboard. And now to definitely the most important things, and it's even cool, you can see the power cards and all of them over there. But now going over the decks themselves. So, first off, Splinter, amazing to see in color. A lot of these cards you are going to get 3 copies of, 3 copies of Tinny, 3 copies of Gearling, Goblin, Scrapplebot, and now we move on to the cards with abilities. So starting off, we got Binny Boo, destroy target figment you control, then create a scrap token. Renko, create a scrap token, target figment you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Pip Pop Pep, death, simply just create a scrap token. Oh, yep, and that's the last one for the core figments with abilities. And now going on to the prime figments. So first off, we have Conster, 3 copies of him, and 3 copies of Jam Track. And then getting into the rares of the deck, you have 3 copies of Ninkansu. Ongoing, whenever a figment you control has its attack increased above its base value, that figment gains +1/+0 until end of turn. Very powerful in game testing when you do have them, especially if you have 2 copies of them. Definitely makes your core figments a lot scarier and makes your opponents want to defend against them and not let them hit for like 5 damage for a regular core figment. So really good card overall. And now to give you guys a look at what the cards look like now, it's really simple. I just made an icon for the ongoings, it enters, make it bright red, and make sure it's a lot more more of a visual cue than before with the cards. Especially with the prime figments, they do have game altering abilities like Fury, and for the type of Mycocytherian, they has the ability to give a stun counter. So I wanted to make sure that those were all capitalized rather than how this is right now. It says ongoing. I just made it all red, and I'll show you guys what the card looks like right now. Other than that though, move on to our next figment, or next rare figment, is Ventrix. Tap, create a scrap token, return target core figment from your discard to the field active. Super important power piece. I was actually just playing with one of my friends the other day, and this card did me wonders. I almost lost the game, but I was able to get my Ventrix up and kept recycling and reoccurring my core figments, and it got to this point where I was just overwhelming my opponent and he couldn't really do anything. So yeah, very good rare card overall. And also, so you guys can see, the rare cards do have this silver triangle compared to the core figments, or any common card that has this black. So that's how you can signify which one's a rare card and which one's common, as well as the prismatic, which will be up next. So up next, and for 1 copy of in the deck, we have Cinder Colossus, which you saw earlier in the holographic. Where is he? If I can find him. Here's him in his holo version, and this is him in the regular one, which is the copy you guys will get. And he reads, start, lose 3 life unless you sacrifice 3 scrap tokens. These little guys over here. If you do draw a card, answer the Colossus gains Fury until end of turn. And that's what I mean with having the card's abilities being capitalized instead of the start end effects. So I'll show you guys even what it looks like now, just to differentiate, and so you know that this is the one that says start, and then any of the abilities that are capitalized, you know that's an ability of a card. So yeah, that's the 1 copy of Cinder Colossus, looking really good. I'm super happy, and all the colors really shine out great with this card. Up next, we are looking to the power cards. A lot of them we have 3 copies of, except the prismatic ones, which are these ones back here. So first up, Harmonic Drive. Start, if you control 3 or more scrap realm figments, create a scrap token. Really good early setup piece. Next up, Hidden in the Greens. Just allows you to make a scrap token really cheaply too for only 1 essence. Next up, Treasure Near. Sacrifice a scrap token, draw a card, then Coal. And in my game, Coal is you look at the top card of your deck and you decide to either keep it there or you put it in your discard pile. Next, Defiant Display. Sacrifice 2 scrap tokens, untap target scrap realm figment you control. A lot of those, I didn't know how good this card was going to be, especially early on in playtesting. I didn't play it a lot, and I've been doing it a lot more recently. I think this is, as I've been playing more games, I've been getting a lot better at the game. And this card is very powerful, especially if you play it on top of Renko or even Ventrix. So, super good card overall. And last up, for the scrap realm specific cards we have from the field. Sacrifice a scrap token, return target core scrap realm figment from your discard to the field tapped. Really good. I think I had it even, I changed it from this on so it's fatigued instead of tapped. Really good, just re-encouraging for your deck, especially if you have a lot of prime figments in your hand and not core figments. Play this, get a core figment onto the field, and then play your prime figments later. So yeah, that's it for the scrap realm specific cards. And next up, we have the prismatic cards, which you can see are this very colorful card. These are going to be your neutral cards in the game. Can be used for any other deck. but I didn't make these ones specifically so they can work alongside the scrap realm. But if you get both foundation decks or any of the future foundation decks in the future, feel free to mess around and even trade these with your opponent and switch up the cards because they could really work in any deck. So starting off with Elixir Vitality, simply heal 2 life points. Really good, especially when you're using scrap tokens because they require you to pay life. So just an easy way to bounce back into the game. Next up, Heart Hedge Totem. Attached payment gets +0/+1, and you attach. The payment for the attachment I changed as well. It is simply just 2 essence instead of tapping it because I felt it was really hard to play in, and when you did tap a figment on the field, you have to exhaust a figment and it makes it useless during the rest of your turn, so I just made it so you pay 2 essence now. And for the last 2 cards, we're starting off with the Replacer. A simple draw a card, then discard a card. This card was featured originally in the Digital Realm card deck, but I found that deck was really good at Agilite cards naturally, so I swapped the 2 cards, and this deck card works really well in this deck now, the Scrap Realm. And lastly, we have Severed Ties. Sacrifice permanent, draw a card. A really easy combo piece to do with this card is if you have several scrap tokens, which you will use in this deck, play this card, destroy scrap, and draw cards. And that's it for all of the Scrap Realm cards. This is just amazing to look at. I had the printed cards for so long. Been just staring at my laptop for months on, looking at these cards. Just really excited to see how they would look in person. They look even better than what I can imagine. I'll put this card up here. I'll finish putting the cards back in the deck box, and we'll start opening up the digital realm for you guys to see. So let's move on to that. Yep, let's go, guys. I just want you guys to know, as soon as I'm done recording this video and editing it, I'm putting all of these cards in sleeves, and I'm going to play with them immediately. So, and even just the box is really cool because I also wanted to make a box that was collectible. A little torn to see the sides already up there. I was really excited to see how this ended up, and I really wanted to make it a collector's piece instead of like something you just throw away immediately. So I'll definitely be like putting these on my shelf and just looking at them and admiring them. I might even put a lot of the cards that I used to play with. A lot of these just old black and white printed cards in this deck box, and then put the other ones, these printed cards, into my deck box I got right now. So let's move on to the digital realm now. Let's see how this looks. So when originally making this deck, I knew I wanted to be a bit more of a control-based deck. Hold on. Especially since I knew the scrap realm was being hyper aggressive, so I definitely wanted to make sure that every realm feels unique in which way they play. So this one's definitely a lot more slow paced compared to the scrap realm, but it's really fun when you start getting your deck rolling, and I'll talk about how you guys play these decks later on. Probably another video. I do want to try to plan and record a gameplay video, but I just don't know how to do exactly yet in my setup. So enough talking, and let's get right into this. Also, before we open it, just to give you guys a little bit of a closer look with the box unwrapped. This thing just looks incredible. I'm so happy with how this ended up turning out. And we got a little Voltix folder here. Now let's open this, and hopefully it's in order. The other cards were somewhat in order. There were a few that were out of order, but it looks like the scene might have happened here. So I'll be right back, and I'll get this in order to show off to you guys. We are back in business now. Only a few of the cards were out of order, not too bad. But let's start it off. Combat, starting off with our famous and non-abilities, Cart Chip, Chipling, Bitefly. And now we are going to move on to the figments with abilities, starting off with Voltix Cell. Tap, put a charge counter on target figment, death, figments with 5 more charge counters on them lose all abilities. This card had a rough time originally making sure he was balanced. One of the original effects was they lose X amount of health, and very early on, it was even before I had buffed up the Scrap Realm deck, it was just impossible to really get past this card because you can kind of bait him out, wait a long time, and then kill this on purpose, and then just completely weaken and destroy your opponent's figments. So that's why I definitely had to change them. But even with the fact of having all figments lose abilities with a certain amount of charge counters on them is really powerful, especially in the new decks that I'm making, which rely on their figments and their abilities. This one's going to be ultimately a really good card overall. And next up, you have Injector. His ability I did change just to make it. I'm trying to make one card in every deck where it says If enter, if you have another of this realm, do this effect. So his ability reads now, if I remember, I'll show the card up. Enter, if you control another digital realm figment, put a charge counter on target figment. So I also didn't really feel that his card was really good. I was playtesting with my friend, and he even questioned why would I want to put a charge counter on this. It's already kind of a decent card as is, so I wanted to make sure his ability was actually useful when you play him and not just a card that you have in the back of your hand and never play. So that's Inkjector. And next up, very heavy combo piece. You want to try to get it early on as soon as possible. Dupli Duo, ongoing whenever a charge counter is put on a figment and opponent controls, put an additional charge counter on that figment. And I changed this as well too for the first time because there's a lot of times when I was test playing games, just kept on doubling and my opponent couldn't really do anything. And he is only a common, so I made sure to tone the ability back a bit more. But that is Dupli Duo right there. Next up, Ether, good 4/4. Distribute death effect, distribute up to 2 charge counters among your opponent's figments. Really good early piece, and as well as if you do Dupli Duo on the field and Ether dies, that means you can put 1 charge counter on 2 figments. And since this is the first time the charge counters is saying if it was the first time that they put charge counters on them, you double them, so you put an additional charge counter on both figments. So really good setup piece for the future of your plays and strategies. Now going on to the prime figments in the deck, we have Lost Roboto, a good 5/4, as well as Pixelon, a good 6/5. Really good. I think he has the highest damage out of all the figments that are in this deck. Not really an aggressive deck. You don't ever want to play this too early. I definitely lost to my friend when I was playing this deck, and I just used them too early. I didn't have any more in my deck and I couldn't beat them, so definitely keep these in your back pocket when you're ready to defend. And Joltron, which I have a very sad story about him. One, not only are all these figments text a little bit different now, I actually typed his name wrong in the description, Joltin instead of Joltron. Super sad when I found that after I bought the cards, and when they were printing I was like, oh, I can't go back and change it to Joltron. But anyways, this card reads, start if an opponent controls a figment with 2 or more charge counters, draw a card. Really good. When I was mentioning earlier with Rusted Dawn having not really a lot of draw power, this is what I was comparing it to. So especially if you get a lot of charge counters early on, I had 2 of these in one game and I was just drawing 3 cards every turn. So really good. 4/5, not the best stats, but for a rare card, it's really good and powerful. And lastly, we have Voltix Bulwark. As you can see on the bottom of this deck box, his ability, start, put a charge counter on Voltix Bulwark and target figment, and on his death ability, destroy all figments with 5 or more charge counters. Really good defensive tool if you happen to have already a lot of figments on your, a lot of charge counters on your opponent's figments, and need a way out as a quick escape route. Play this immediately, kind of use them as a bait tool, so it forces your opponents to attack them, and if they all have a whole bunch of charge counters on them, you're going to blow up the entire field. Maybe your own figments, depending on how many charge counters are on, but there are a lot of cards in this deck to remove your charge counters and put them onto another one. So yeah, a really good rare card in this deck. And moving on to the last figment in this deck, of course, it is the boss, Mecha Scytherian. Oh my gosh, Mecha Scytherian. Sorry, I'm like super excited about this. I got cards flying everywhere, and I got his foiled version right here. Super cool. And his ability reads, start, remove 3 charge counters from a target figment. If you can't, discard a card. There are a lot of ways to get charge counters. This is a card you want to play on later, so you make sure you build enough to take them off for your opponents or even your own figments. And his ongoing effect, if 2 or more charge counters were added this turn, put a stun counter on target figment your opponent controls, then draw a card. Very powerful ability, especially since the stun effect is your opponent's figment is fatigued, or not, your opponent's figment is exhausted until the end step of your next turn. And that means if you have this one alive and you remove more charge counters, you can either stun lock the specific figment, or you can lock another one and have both of them out for, just one of them out for a little bit and the other one completely stunned until your next turn. So yeah, overall really good, powerful Mecha Scytherian is really fun to play around. Now up to the power cards. Starting off with Electrified, a simple 1 essence, put a charge counter on target figment. Next up, Charge Transfer, move a charge counter from a digital realm figment you control onto another target figment. And also, If you are using Duplo Duo and have them on the field and you play this card, that does mean that when you move a charge counter to a Figment, that it will add an additional one if it's the first time the charge counter was put on there this turn. So yeah, really good card overall. As well as this card is a reference to Joltron. Next up, Data Draw, just another good ability to draw a card, remove 2 charge counters from target Figment, then draw a card. I really want to make sure I have these in every Foundation deck, just a good outlet, even if the deck isn't focusing around on drawing cards. Just another good, it's always good to draw a card, especially if your hand is really low. Next up, very powerful card, Lockdown, remove all charge counters from target Figment, and that Figment can't attack until the beginning of your next end step. I know there are times where I'm like, oh, why are you making the deck centered around charge counters and having to remove them? It says remove all charge counters, so you can simply put one on a Figment that's giving you a problem and then immediately play this, and then your opponent can't do anything unless they counter it, which I don't have anything like that right now. So really good and just locks down your opponent's board and making sure that their powerful Figments can't attack, especially something like a Cinder Colossus. This is really good to play on. And next up, for the Digital Realm specific cards in this deck is Internal Reboot. 2 essence for a look at the top 3 cards of your deck, then put them in any order. There's a lot of these cards, there's even one specific one we'll get on later, that allow you to see what cards you have in the future. And it's kind of what the whole strategy is about, making sure you know what you have and what you can play around with. So just a really good card overall, and you get 3 of those. And lastly, for the deck, are the prismatic cards, which are the universal cards that you can use in any deck, but these are semi specifically and they go well with this deck and this strategy. First off, 2 copies of Training Sword, because a lot of the cards don't have a lot of attack, and the other Foundation deck has one for defense, so kind of just wanted to make a generic card that you can use for any deck. As well as the price has been changed for this one, so it's just 2 instances instead of 1 tapping a Figment. Next up, Helping Hand, return target core Figment from your discard to the top of your deck face down. So it's not like the Scrap Realm where they can put the cards back onto the field, but this one was originally in the Scrap Realm deck, and I felt that there's already a good amount of ways to reoccur your Figments, and the Digital Realm didn't have an outlet like that, so that's why I made this card. Kaleidoscope is our next card, and the effect is the same even after checking all the cards and changing them after I bought them. Simple attach Figment has peak 1 for 1 essence. Just a good way to look at what cards you have in the future, especially if you don't have the Internal Reboot, kind of get ahead of what you like or be able to draw in your next features. And a really good last few cards for the deck is Volcanic Surge. This card is really good, I think just any overall deck. It might even be used in everyone's personal deck maybe. Simply destroy non-Figment permanent, really good against Harmonic Drive. I had to remember the card for a second. So if your opponent plays that, he's like, oh, I'm about to create scrap next turn. Simply just tap 2 essence instant, no, I destroy it. And that is all the cards from both decks. I'm super happy with these. The coloring and printing, I was a little scared, a little hesitant because I didn't know how the colors would look. I didn't know if things would be too dark, but everything almost comes out exactly. I don't even know almost. It's almost near exact how the cards on my laptop look like. Joltron, oh my gosh, Joltron. Just again in the future, I'll put up the card what it looks like now. Definitely got that mistake corrected. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it in terms of these cards. I'm just gonna put them back in order, and the order that they came in real quick. And then we'll put Mechacytherian on top. And there's the entire deck that you guys would be able to buy and get all 60 of these cards. Put them back in this deck box properly, close them up, and compare them next to first Foundation deck. And again, these just look incredible. I'm so happy with how these turned out. And I tried to make it look a little comic book style, with like this little stamp on the sides of every deck box. And if you want to line them up like this, you can see Rust of Dawn Foundation Deck 1 and Cyber Rain Foundation Deck 2. It's incredible. I'm so happy. It's been about 7 or 8 months of worth of work just for this, and I'm incredibly happy with how these ended up turning out. And I believe I said it in the video, these aren't the only things these weren't the only things I bought from the Game Crafter. I ended up buying a few other cards that I'll show there right now. So just a few extra prismatic cards to switch around and play with the decks. Just got a bunch of these, 2 of every from both decks. And then what's exciting is I got even more holographic cards, and I got these ones specifically for the realm or the rare cards of the decks. So we have the Kanto, got 3 Ventrix, and I'm definitely replacing these when I actually play in person with the original ones. Joltron, and lastly Voltaic Bulwark. And of course, oh, sorry about that. And of course, we can't skip out on the boss figments themselves, Mecha Cytherion and Cinder Colossus. These just look so incredible. I'm so happy with how these turned out. And I guess the only thing that's right is to try to give you guys a new home. So that's what we'll do. So for the sake of time, or I should say for the sake of your guys' time, I'm not going to go through and show me putting a sleeve on every one of these cards, but I will show you guys these right here, which are all the black and white versions of the scrap realm, including all of its tokens. Put this over here, very lazily put this in here, and I'll organize it later. And this is the new home for Foundation Deck 1. And of course, we have to do the same for Foundation Deck 2. Again, all the printed cards that I've done myself. And I just realized I'm spoiling something for you guys. This is not the second deck. This is an upcoming deck. I'll just show you guys. It's a Wiltra deck. Very excited for the test playing this one. This is a really relic heavy deck. Plays completely different than the other 2 decks. But now, since we got that cleared out, of course, gotta give it home to these guys right here. And we'll include the random prismatic cards in here as well. Close this up. Now we got home, or a new home for the 2 Foundation decks for my game. And I was going to change it out later, but I'll just do it on video now. Don't worry about these. Oh, should I show you guys? Why not? I'll show you guys. This is an early look at the PAL realm for Dreamscape. Looking really good right there. I'll take these guys out. Ultimately, probably even put the other actual printed versions in this one, but this is what it's all about right here. Look at that. This is so amazing to look at, it's incredible. And also, I'll give you guys another look at what the card back looks like. I'm really happy with how this came out, especially with how long it took me to come up with the idea of the back of the card. It's supposed to be a little cloud swirl of the kids' imaginations coming alive, creating their craziest thoughts. I will say, not too happy with how the card isn't really centered, but honestly, it's from the game crafter. You're getting what you're paid for. I think even Make Playing Cards has better quality in terms of you can send the cards back and get your money back, or they'll send you another free copy of the decks you buy. But I've been using the game crafter and buying products from there for years now. This doesn't surprise me with how the backs aren't aligned with the original, but I'm super happy with how the front, so honestly, for the most part, all the front cards look incredible with how they're printed out. So if anything, it is more important for the front to be aligned with the back, and I'm just super stoked and super happy with just the progress I made and where we're at with now with this game. So I'll bore you guys no more. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if anything, I hope this video is a little bit of a motivational video to inspire you guys to keep on making your games. Again, this game took me about 7 or 8 months, and I'm still not even completely done with the game. As you can see with some of the cards I've shown you guys, I'm still changing things around. But I'll even give you guys just a bunch of notes that I've been taking about this game. This game is, and at some point I need to cut myself off, which I am going to. The templates and everything I'm super happy with. There is just some text things I need to change. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this video. Don't know, I don't have a complete release date in mind for this game. I'm thinking hopefully by the summer, maybe do an early release in January or February for my game. But I definitely have to do a lot of things like solidify the rulebook, make a playtest video, guys. Also, you know, show you guys how to play the game and how it works. But other than that, I didn't want to let you guys go. I'm sorry if this was like a really long video. I'm super excited with how these looked, and I took my time really looking into everything. And I just want to make sure the cards are perfect, and I'm super happy with how they turned out. So I think that's going to be it for this video. I know I said that like 20 times already, but I'm gonna have to go now. I'm so excited. I'm about to sleeve these up immediately and put them in my deck boxes. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And tell me what you guys like to see with this game. Tell me how you like the cards, the card packs. If there's any suggestions you guys have about how these look, let me know. I'm always going to listen to you guys' feedback. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support. Never thought I would take it like this far. I never thought I would get that many people interested in my game originally. Another reason, I guess you can say why I'm a little bit emotional about this game is I'm just really proud of myself for making it this far. A lot of the games I used to make in the past, I wouldn't get past like 5 cards of that. And my last game that I made in Next World got a lot of criticism, understandably so. I wanted to make this game its own thing, and I really think I did that pretty well. And I really hope you guys also enjoy what I've been making so far. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. And that's it for me. Peace out.